Hey guys, let's talk about what we learned today. Now, yesterday we learned how to find the nth term in both geometric and arithmetic sequence. But this time we're going to focus on the arithmetic sequence. I think if you get this one, you're going to really get geometric sequence also. So let's look at it. How do we find the nth term of arithmetic sequence? Remember the formula was a sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1 d. Do we all recall that? I hope so. The sequence that I'm going to give you. The sequence that I'm going to give you starts with 84. And then it's going to have 4 blank spaces. I have a reason why I have 4 blank spaces. And my last term of this sequence is 39. So this is a finite sequence. Remember that vocab that we had? It's finite because it has limited number of terms. Now, what we're going to do, my first goal is to find D. If I find D, which is common difference, then I can fill in every one of these blanks. Is that right? So, I'm going to use a formula that we learned yesterday in order to get to finding D. Now you're thinking, how can we do that? Now, we know our last term. So let's focus on our last term and our first term because it's the only thing that's given. So our last term is technically a sub 6 because it's the 6th term and this is our last term. And so I'm just going to modify our formula to look something like this. We know our n is 6 because that's what I want to focus on at this point. Right? Now, once you plug this in, you're thinking, well, I know a sub 6. You're right. So my a sub 6 is 39. Now a sub 1, which is the first term, is 84. Those two were given. If something's given to you, we're gonna try to use it in the formula. And now we got 5 times d. At this point, you're going to simply subtract 84 from both sides. And you're going to end up getting negative 45 is equal to 5d. And all you're going to do is divide each side by 5d, and you end up getting d is equal to negative 9. Not too bad. I hope that wasn't too bad. Now, what does D mean? D means common difference. That's only in arithmetic sequence, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to use that D that we just found. I'm going to erase this part right here so we can use a space below. We're going to use a D that we just found to fill in the blanks of this sequence. And most of you already have an idea on how to do that. So let's still go over it together. So our common difference is 9. That means negative 9. That means I have to go from left to right to 84 to 84 minus 9. So I get 84 minus 9. So I get 75. Now I'm going to do that once again because it's our common difference. And you do it every single time, right? So I get 66 here. That's 6. And I'm going to subtract 9 again. I get 57. I'm going to subtract 9 again. I get 48. And then I'm going to subtract 9 again. And I get 39. Not too bad. I hope this wasn't too bad. Now I'm going to go to a different, and this is one of the examples that you will be doing on your homework. Now let's look at another kind of example that we did in class. This time, I want you to find the a sub n or nth term general equation. Now, what I'm going to give you, the only information that I'm going to give you is that a sub 4 of this sequence is 12. And d is equal to 0.2 0.25. Now, what does that mean? This is not telling you that there's only 4 terms. What this is telling you is that this sequence, I don't know how many terms I have, but I know my 4th term. So I know there's first, second, third, fourth, and there's going to be more terms, right? Because it didn't tell you when it's going to end yet. But I know the 4th term is 12, so I'm going to plug that in. Now, since our D, our common difference, is 0.25, I know that from left to right, I had to add 0.25 to get to 12. So, just by using reverse order, what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract 0.25 from 12. So I ended up getting 11.75. I'm going to subtract 0.25 again because it's common difference. So I get 11.50. I'm going to do that once again. So I'm going to get 11.25. Excuse my pen, it's kind of breaking a little bit. Now, how was that? That's not too bad, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to once again plug into our equation our formula that we have. So we know that a sub n is equal to a sub 1, which is the first term, which is 11.25 in this case. And that's our a sub n plus, and we don't know what n is, minus d, but our d in this case is 0.25. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go straight and distribute our 0.25. So we ended up having a sub n is equal to 11.25 plus 0.25 minus 0.25. This is what I did. For those of you that just doesn't see this yet, I just distributed these right here. Okay, I'm going to erase some parts on the top to finish this problem. Now, what I'm going to have, I'm going to have to add the like terms, which is 11.25 and negative 0.25. So when I add that, I end up getting a sub n is equal to 11. Oh, I forgot n right here. I apologize. 11 plus 0.25 n. Now, this formula right here, you think that, and I know you think you're not done yet, but we really are, because with this formula that we just found for this specific sequence, we can plug in any number, so we can find hundredth term if that's where it ends, or if it's infinite sequence, I can infinitely find any term that I want to by using this formula right here. So that's what's so neat about this formula that we just found. I hope I have time to show you the application of this formula. Once you found this formula, if I ever ask you to find the hundredth term, you can go ahead and plug in 100 for n, because that's what nth term means. Is that right? So I'm going to go ahead. I want you to go ahead and plug in 100 for n and try to solve it. So what I'm going to end up having is I'm looking for the 100th term. Ooh, I don't think I have enough room with this big old pen. So that is equal to 11 plus 0.25 times our n is now 100. Now put this in your calculator and work it out. So you end up getting 36. Alright, that's up to you. Multiply this first and then you add 11 to it. So our 100th term of this little sequence that we have going, our 100th term on the down the road is going to be 36. I hope this video really helped. If it didn't, and if you're still not understanding something, please come and talk to me, and I will definitely try my best to answer you. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow, bright and early.